Welcome to Michigan Main Lines. We're back on the South Bend Secondary here, leaving Fulkerson Road where we left off before and heading up towards Niles and the street running and all that good stuff. This, of course, was about 1980. Conrail South Bend Secondary. This line was stopped being used sometime in the 80s, was officially abandoned in the early 90s. So this section here now is all bike trail at this point. Nothing left, but at this time there was still business in Niles, north of Highway 12, as we will see when we get a little bit farther down the line. But this section here, there was nothing on it. Check out the companion piece, which shows Fulkerson Road down to Pendle Street in Roseland, Indiana. And we'll be doing a few videos on this entire line here shortly, showing some maps and some still pictures and some abandonment information as separate videos. Get the speed down here a little bit. It's hard to keep the train running and to do the camera views and to be doing everything else. We got a different locomotive here today, not the Conrail, because this one is a little bit more detailed, and I like the flashing beacon on it. And we got some different freight cars here as well. Still got the Conrail caboose. Some of these cars in the program are more detailed than others. The Conrail stuff wasn't really all that detailed, but we still got the cabooses. It looks pretty good, I guess. Over to the left there now, we will be approaching a Bell Road up ahead. Over to the left is the baseball park, which is still there today, of course. That's the big parking area for that. Track kind of veers over to the right after Bell Road. I don't think it veered quite as much as we veered it, but we still got some kinks to get out of this, especially the big kink over there right on Bell Road. Not sure if there were signals at Bell Road. I think there were, but I'm not totally sure about that. Next up will be Highway 12. There were signals at Highway 12, not gates like we have here, but there were signals. Up ahead now, the track we're on here now, pretty much between Highway 12 and up into Niles, this was still utilized probably until about the year 2000. This siding we see here was used to work around the train and get over to French paper. Just to the left here now you see a remnant of a siding. That went to the Scheller Globe complex, which I believe was the old Connier. And we don't show the buildings there, but there was a couple warehouse type buildings in their complex. Those buildings are still in operation today. I think it might be Modenier. And then up ahead we got quite a bit going on, so we'll probably briefly stop up here just to kind of take a look and see what's going on and talk about it. Let's see if we can go ahead and stop this train a little bit. The old CC and STL railroad, or the Big Four as it was known, crossed up ahead here. That ran from Benton Harbor down to Granger, Indiana. That later became the New York Central, and the portion from Niles to Granger was abandoned and removed probably in the early 40s, but the branch up to Benton Harbor still remained. Under Conrail, that was the Benton Secondary. Now at this time, all that remained here was this lead over to the left, which went to a French paper mill. We're not gonna go in there on this trip, but we just wanted to talk about that. Also up ahead, will be another siding you will see over to the right, which served some lumber yard structures. I'm not sure how long that was still done. I don't believe it was in the early 90s when I was able to film the local running to French, but I'm not too sure about that. But at any rate, this track all went right around 2000. But there you see the lead that headed off to the French paper mill over to the left. And then you'll see the remnant of the old Big Four that was just kind of put in here to kind of give an indication. There was also a bridge here that crossed a small creek, but we didn't bother to put that in. But there's the old Big Four. Go ahead and cut this speed down a little bit. And then we will be heading up. We will be crossing Fort Street here shortly. There over to the right is that remnant of that siding for the lumber yard. And Fort Street will be just up ahead. Now we see a siding up here. There was a siding, not totally sure if it was a complete passing siding or not, but there was something here. Fort Street, that's the Taco Bell restaurant over there to the right. The street running video of Conrail shows a train coming through that Fort Street crossing. We'll probably be breaking that off into a separate video and posting it on the channel. Next up will be Silverbrook, Superior streets. When we pass Michigan Street, that's when we will get into a little bit of street running on 9th Street. And then the track kind of runs just alongside 9th Street for a piece until Main. Then after that it becomes solid street running right down the center of 9th. I believe this is Superior up ahead. And we will get into some solid, no, not solid, but a little piece of street running here. as we go into more of a neighborhood area. Ninth Street. Several streets we will be crossing here, almost too numerous to mention. Cherry, Maple, Hickory, Oak, Broadway, to name a few, will be some of the streets that we will be crossing here. You'll see signals up ahead. That was the Main Street crossing, which new signals were put up shortly before service stopped. Main Street. Numerous streets here again. Regent, Sycamore, Ferry, Cass, to name a few. And up ahead to the right, when we start getting toward Howard Street, you will see a spur coming into a kind of an area there. That was the National Standard, where they took gondola cars. I have a picture that I posted on social media of gondolas parked over there, but that was the National Standard. This track, of course, all gone now, except what is still in place just past Howard here that we will be crossing. This will be Howard Street right up here ahead. And there's that siding at the National Standard complex. And there was a bit of a passing siding up in this area. Then past the next crossing of Wayne Street, you will see some complexes. Over to the right was the Simplicity pattern, which I understand French was actually getting some of their deliveries, some of their loads into part of that complex after their service stopped. That's what I have been told. Over to the left we have the Niles Industrial that also had a siding going to it. Stop that bell now. Yeah, this track is still kind of in place, but nothing much is really going on here anymore from what I can tell. There's the Wayne Street crossing and Simplicity pattern to the right. Niles Industrial over to the left. And there was a bit of an Amtrak yard here. You'll see two main tracks up there. Of course, the main Amtrak owned line, which ran from Porter Junction to Kalamazoo. At this time, Conrail had trackage rights on it, and the local would come in out of Kalamazoo to service the business here. So that's just kind of a long lead that we will be entering over here now, and then eventually this will connect with the Amtrak line. And that pretty much does it for this review of the Niles to South Bend Secondary, showing some of the main points. Like I say, I will be posting a bit of a historical video, kind of showing a bunch of still pictures, some more maps, and some abandonment information on these lines. And unless there's any call for it, we're not going to do a return trip unless there's really the demand. Now, there has been demand to see these sims of more area lines, but this takes quite a bit of work to put these things together, so I'm not really planning to do any more of these. If I did do anything at all, I would probably do the E&W between Elkhart and Mishawaka, but I don't know. Right now I don't have any plans to do that. There's so much more that can be done on what's here just to make it more realistic and more accurate. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this or got a laugh or two out of it, if nothing else, and like, subscribe. We'll see you with some more stuff in the future.